Welcome all you beautiful adventurers wandering around out there in the wilds, or all of you people who are already subscribed to the Orphan Guild and are a fellow adventurer. I'm your host, the D&D Orphan, here today with something brand new, something exciting, something fresh and fiery. I would like to welcome all of you beautiful adventurers to the Princes of the Apocalypse. A campaign full of mistrust, of vile cultists, monsters, and of course, the 4 elemental princes of chaos who are attempted to being summoned. Of course, if you haven't already recognized, you will recognize a few people. As some of these wonderful folks joining us today were on my previous Monday series, which, as of about 2 Mondays ago, has officially ended. The fate of the world is gone, which means this beautiful overlay you're seeing now is being repurposed for the Princes of the Apocalypse. So, without further ado, let us now introduce some of the people who you may recognize or may not. Starting with the one and only Xenia! Please introduce yourself.
Hello, my little goblins. I am Xenia. You may recognize me as Zara from our previous Monday group. You know, everyone's favorite drunk tiefling. I am back playing a Tabax fairy called Imogen. I am going to be going outside my comfort zone and playing an Ulriga. And I will be also, if I can find it, because I'm very underprepared, I will also, my background is also merchant, and my subclass is painkiller. So I see I've swapped up my horns for my cat ears, but I'm excited to be here and be experiencing now what was brewed as a DM.
Indeed. Indeed, quite the change from being players by each other's sides to being a DM and a player. Quite interesting.
I'm still going to torture you just as much.
That's fine. From there, we have another person who you'll recognize from the Monday campaign. The one, the only, Sage.
Hi guys. You probably remember me from Monday. Originally I played Faryn, Zara's daughter, and then I played Nyx. And this campaign, I'm actually going to be playing a Kalishtar named Zephyr. Her class is a warlock, sorcerer, multi-class. I don't have a subclass currently, but for warlock, I'm going to be choosing the Undying. And my background is smuggler.
Absolutely amazing and wonderful to have you back on the channel. Absolutely great. From there, we have another person you'll recognize from more than any other campaigns on my goddamn channel, because the bastard just keeps finding his way in. The one, the only, King. Or should I say the dashing Donovan and the goddamn lustrous lion.
Yeah, that's right, Orphan. I'm in the walls. I'm in the walls. Hey, everybody. It's King, me, your boy. In this campaign, I will be playing Zavala. He is a bear totem barbarian with the background of ruin.
Indeed, indeed. The tiny little 6-foot fairy, Zavala Butterbean. Very excited to have you here, King. Get you in with these wonderful people from my Monday campaign. I'm sure you're gonna love the roleplay and the mischief that will ensue from this group. And now, for 2 more people who you will not recognize, but I hope will be mainstays on the channel, might even appearing in other series and videos. We have, starting off, the one, the only, Dragon. Dragon, please introduce yourself.
Greetings, Orphan Guild. My name's Dragon. I'm a fresh new face on this channel. I'm here hopefully to add diversity and spice to the campaign. My character's name is Hibiki, the half-demon. My class is Fighter. I'm building as an Echo Knight. I plan to have a unique subclass in the future just to add a little more depth to the team and party.
Absolutely wonderful. Wonderful to have you here, Dragon. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for showing up. And it is wonderful to have you on the channel in the series. And last but certainly not least, another new face on the channel who will hopefully be a mainstay. We have the one, the only, Leafeon. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Leafeon, or Leaf for short. I will be playing Orois, a Kitsune Ranger that is a subclass with Drake Warden. I met these people through a very interesting means, and I really do hope to be here more often. I really enjoyed from the sounds that I've heard about this campaign, and I'm actually excited.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. With that, we have introduced all of our lovely players, as well as you already all know me, the D&D Orphan himself, the one, the only. But without further ado, let's now introduce the campaign itself. So, for all of you watching at home who don't already know, the campaign we will be tackling here is the Princes of the Apocalypse. Now, this campaign is pretty straightforward. There exists 4 cults. The cult of the Black Earth, the cult of the Sundering Wave, the cult of the Howling Hatred, and the cult of the Primordial Flame. These 4 cults of earth, wind, air, and fire, fucking around like the Avatar out here, are each attempting to summon their own Prince of the Apocalypse. One of each element, the Prince of Air, the Prince of Fire, the Prince of Water, and the Prince of Earth. If successful in summoning these princes, absolute chaos and apocalypse will strike the Forgotten Realms. So, to combat that, fate has intervened, causing events to unfold, toppling like dominoes, causing chain reactions that would spark heroes to be born, adventurers to be molded, and mercenaries to be hired. Through circumstances, each one of our players arrives at the Red Larch, a town not too far from the mountains, not too far from the forests, not too far from the lakes. A very desolate town, having almost long been forgotten in its silence, but recently it has stirred to life, not only with those of the cults, but with those who seek to end the cults. Where our campaign will pick up is as the Red Larch as the sun rises over the Red Larch, basking all of the residents in sunlight and warmth. A man by the name of Mortem, an artificer who's been hired by a big guild to form a team of nobodies, scoundrels, and who's-its, and shape them and mold them into a force potentially capable of stopping the 4 cults themselves. As Mortem rises for his day, coming to the stage that he has set up for the past week, taking time and effort to build, he steps atop the stage and begins to speak, lifting his voice high for everyone in the town to hear, calling, "For one, for all! Gather round, fine folks, and please help me stop the vile cult demons, the evil princes of the apocalypse, the 4 cults that threaten the lands." As people slowly begin to gather around, we get to see some strange faces as the crowd grows larger and larger. 5 individuals, followed by a 6th, each begin to approach the crowd. As they slowly make their way in, they listen to the words. Hearing the man call out, as their interest is drawn, they can't help but be summoned by fate. With that, we've introduced the hook of our campaign. And before we actually introduce the characters, let's get to know a little bit more about the players themselves. So, let's do a little bit of improv, maybe some fun facts, just some games and such to introduce each other. And to, of course, introduce them all to you wonderful viewers at home. Starting with the person directly to my right, the one, the only, Xenia. I'd like to ask you some questions about yourself, if you don't mind. Xenia, you're a familiar face of the channel. You've been here before. You not only have you appeared on The Fate of the World. Oh, I don't know. Have you? I can't quite remember. Not only have you appeared on The Fate of the World, you have also appeared on my Schedule 1 series. So, as everyone will know, you are indeed a druggie, the same as I. Pothead, at least. Druggie's a little hard of a term.
He's lying.
Shh. No one better snitch. But I want to know, Xenia, please tell me what's something that really draws you to this wonderful game of D&D? You know, like, give me something, an experience or a memory that's really stuck with you, just to kind of showcase for everyone at home the kind of player you are, or the kind of things you've encountered on this wonderful game we call D&D.
Well, I've always grown up being a traumatized queen, as it were, and I've always been interested in D&D, but never had the opportunity. And my partner, who you have all met, he does the wonderful voice of Consuela on the Schedule 1.
Indeed.
And
no, let me pledge.
No lemon pledge. But he, for our anniversary, did a one-shot for me to teach me D&D. That was all the way back in August, and I absolutely loved it. And next thing I knew, I was joining multiple campaigns in a week. And it became my ADHD hyperfocus of the century. And with all of my like ADHD thoughts and just scrambles, I just get so into all of my characters, and I've dealt with so many various things that everyone knows I have the unluckiest rolls. I've had the unluckiest rolls of the year. I'm fully expecting it again. But I think one of my favorite D&D experiences was my first ever campaign. I rolled in that 20 on my first hit, the best hit I ever got. Then I immediately rolled in that 1 on my next hit, and I fell off a roof of a building, dropped my weapon, and was knocked unconscious. And then it's been downhill since then.
Back-to-back whammies. Well, speaking of your past characters, let's talk a little bit about Zara, a character familiar to this channel and to some people watching. Zara is quite an interesting one who had quite the de-evolution, one might say, rather than evolution. So let's talk a little bit about that. Let's tell everybody. So what happened to Zara? Let's talk about the events that unfolded. Let's talk a little bit about her origin first, as to why she was a little fucked up to begin with, following into the events that would really lead her to her demise.
Well, Zara became pregnant quite young, and her parents had removed the child from her and claimed that it had died. As she grew up, she had then discovered that this was not in fact true, so went on a mission to find her long-lost daughter. Later on, she happens to find out who this is, and it was Faerun. But at the same time, it was during Faerun's dying moments, so she only got to experience that heartbreaking moment of meeting her daughter and her death, like, all in one go. So she just turned, like, she was already, you know, a little bit on the drink anyway, but she just went full-blown alcoholic. And as she was just starting to really turn a corner, boom,
nuke.
Everyone was dead.
Nuke.
It just straight up nuke. She was gone. But at least she's with Faerun now, up with the gods.
Yeah.
But yeah, she definitely went on that little bit of a downhill spiral, but it was definitely a fun one to play.
Awesome. With that, we've gotten to know a good bit about you, Xenia. So thank you for talking. Thank you for giving your time. And next up on our list is the wonderful Sage. Sage, please. Let's talk a little bit about your experience with D&D now, along with a little bit about yourself as well. So of course, in private, some people know about your history with D&D. You started 2 sessions, if I'm correct, before we started the Fate of the World series. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was like 2 sessions into D&D, and me and Xenia had actually wanted to do a session together, but we weren't really able to because of like scheduling conflicts. So she actually met our previous Monday DM online through a server, and she joined some of his other sessions, and he said that he would love to run a Monday session, and me and her switched our schedules around so we could be in it together, and we got it all set up.
Oh yeah. And with that, we ended up getting to know each other as well, me and you and the rest of the group, the wonderful Saturday group, excluding one character and one character's certain actions. You both get what I mean. So of course, I can't really ask too much about your experience with D&D because you're as fresh to it as you really could be, with most of your sessions having been recorded and live streamed. So pretty much, if anyone wants to get to know your sessions, they can watch the Monday sessions, The Fate of the World, here on my channel, or you can click that little thing right there up in the top right corner, which will lead you right to it. That being said, let's talk about your character, since we can't really talk about your experiences too much since it's all pretty much recorded and known to here on the channel. Let's talk about Dessarin, to start, of course, since you did get to play two characters. We'll get into Nyx after. Dessarin, of course, being the saddened character who faced an untimely demise, and the daughter of Xenia's character, who they just mentioned, Zara.
So, gonna give you guys a lore drop on the channel. Everybody else really knows about this because I've told them, but nobody else on the channel really knows this. I had originally told our XDM that I had wanted to kill Dessarin to introduce a new character. Now, a day after that, I had said it seemed a little too soon, and I didn't want to kill Dessarin off. So I actually wanted to keep Dessarin around, and she ended up dying anyway because my DM told me no. So if you guys love Dessarin and you wanted to see her kind of stick around and make guest appearances, that idea was kind of shot down. I tried for you guys. I really tried.
Really tried. I even tried too when the events unfolded and everything. I play clerics normally. That's like my whole shtick. Which is all about healing and such, and I tried everything I could to spare the dying, to revivify, to anything and everything, and I was told, no, the magic's so strong that your magic has no effect. Yep, and of course, if you would have just simply known that I had the capability to heal and everything, which the DM at the time should have been able to tell you because he damn well knew there was a cleric on your team, the situation could have obviously gone much different, the character surviving, but I feel like we all know the reason why the character wasn't allowed to continue living, because then Rothgar would have had to leave the party. We couldn't have that.
Yeah, no.
So,
we could not move.
After the saddened death of the wonderful, wonderful character you were playing, you then introduced another character who may appear on another series of mine in sometime in the future, or may appear even in this one if your current character dies. You've talked a little bit about it in the past. You're not entirely sure, but let's discuss Nyx, the inspiration for Nyx, and a little bit about the character. It was a very interesting character who had some personality traits that were quite unique.
So, Nyx is she was my experimentation, if you will. I wanted to experiment with how kind of cool and crazy I could make a character, because, like, it's D&D, right? It's a game of the mind. It's all in your head, it's all your own. You've got a couple set rules, but it's like, you get to make things your own. And to me, that's really what I wanted to do. I wanted to make a character that was so out there that she felt like me, and I felt like I could play her. And I think I really did that with Nyx, because there was a lot more to Nyx than sadly anybody got to see, because I had hinted at it a little bit. It wasn't just Nyx inside of Nyx. There was a couple other people going on under the surface. I'm not gonna spoil too much in case I do bring her back, but there's a little more going on under the surface than just Nyx. And I was really sad when we got into the TPK, because me and Orphan especially had just made plans for our characters to kind of strike up a nice friendship and everything. And it was really awesome. Like, we had really gotten to talking, and then next day, TPK! So, yeah.
Absolute nuke dropped. Yeah, so sadly we never got to see more of Nyx on the channel, and we never got to see the bromance between Brood and the Nyx's character really form, which would have been absolutely amazing to do. So it of course
Would have been
saddens me.
so cool.
But hey, where some things die, new opportunities arise. And with the leaving of the dreaded tyrant, we have the rise of a new free-flowing and much more personalized campaign, to where obviously there is the book, but I didn't write this fucking book. I ain't got no stake in this book's story. It's all about y'all guys' fun and y'all guys' choices. As at the end of the day, we can go as slow or as fast as you lovely players would like to go, so there will be no more of that bullshit railroading. And moving on from there, thank you so much, Sage, for introducing yourself, talking for us a little bit, and getting to know you. We're excited to have you here on the channel, and of course, from there, we have another mainstay on the channel, King, buddy boy. Let's talk about you here. So, King, what all series on my channel are you currently on? Let's check my list here. From what I'm looking at on my watch, you're not only in my Fridays sessions of the Wild Beyond the Witchlight, you're also in my Saturdays sessions of the Dragon of Icespire, or also as we call it, Corruption Spire Peak. And I just hold up, getting a call. Oh yeah, chums to find out you're also joining my Sunday campaign of Curse of Strahd. Is that correct? Am I hearing this right?
Yes, all of this is correct. I'm on a generational run.
Yeah, you're on a generational run, motherfucker, over here in 4 of my series. Let's see. I host a campaign on Friday. I host a campaign on Saturday. I host a campaign on Sunday, and I now host a campaign on Monday. And if I'm checking properly, 4 out of 4 means you are 100% mainstay on my channel.
Yeah, that's an ace. Partnership paperwork will be to you shortly.
Yep. I'll sign you on as the co-CEO of my company. Yep, pretty sure.
There you go. No, I'll take VP, not co-CEO. I'll take VP.
Okay. Works fine.
Works fine. The board starts to get rid of you.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about some of your other characters, my wonderful buddy King. Let's start with Friday. Tell everyone here a little bit about Lion. Introduce the character for everyone and what Lion's all about. You know.
Well, Lion's an interesting character because Lion was actually completely rolled out. Nothing was decided by me. He was literally luck of the dice. He's a Gepetan monk who is he's a construct technically, like a warforged.
Yeah.
But the beauty of him, he's based off emotion, where other warforges are based off logic.
Yeah.
He's more of a emotional construct.
And for all of you wondering at home, the Gepetan race is a new race that just recently came out in the Griffins Volume 2 Saddlebag. It is a species, because they're not actually called races anymore, I forget. It is a species that has 3 different subspecies. A plushy subspecies, a mannequin subspecies, and a doll subspecies. So essentially what the Gepetan race is think Pinocchio, Geppetto, the creator of the living doll. The 3 sub-races of the Gepetan race are all different versions of like little creations, like I said, plushies, dolls, or mannequins. He being the mannequin version of the race species. And being a mannequin character, there's a lot of fun moments that we have on the Friday session with you, getting to experience like your character drawing on eyes because you have a blank porcelain white face, and then also the creepy unveiling of what's inside of the behind the porcelain mask, essentially.
Between me and you, it was supposed to be creepy, but everyone seems to want to touch it for some reason.
Yeah, constantly. Everyone's just like, can I reach inside of him and touch the little wiggly flesh things? And it's just like, why? Why does everyone want to touch? And it's because it's constantly edgy players. We had Valen, who was really edgy, and of course we had Xerix, who was very edgy. Also known as the Swan Fucker. Yes, that's right. Player who fucked a swan. Fun facts. But moving on from there, that being Lion, we then have our Saturday campaign where you get to play the dashing Donovan, a character who you have a lot more stake and investment in. So please, tell us a little bit about that character.
Well, stake and investment might be a bit of a overstatement. Donovan Willows is he's an Asimov that thinks he's a Fae. He was found in the Feywild by elvish Fae that proceeded to take him in due to his magical altitude. And he's a bit of a chatterbox, and it doesn't always work out for him, but he's found his place as a member of the Saturday group.
Mm-hmm. And of course, he is the one and only man with a demon in his penis.
Oh, yes. A demon in his penis.
Yep, he has a demon in his
I thought you
penis.
hated that joke.
No, I love that joke. I love the demon in the penis joke. It's one of my favorites. Are you kidding me? It's great. Every single time you say demon in the shmeenus, demon in the shmeenus, baby. It's so fucking so good. And then of course you'll have the new player, which you'll be playing on Sundays, which we won't talk about just yet, so we'll leave that for Sunday session 0. But then you have the new player you'll be playing here. So of course, you being someone who's played under me a lot more, please tell everyone some of your favorite moments of your experience playing under me as a DM and everything. Some fun things that you've gotten to do. Ring my bell a little bit, make me feel good about myself.
Favorite moments would I was gonna say primarily come from Saturday, but that wouldn't be true. Favorite moments in no particular order would have to be Donovan getting launched out a window via exploding arrow.
Of course.
Lion having a dragonfly dance with like 3 dragonflies and just putting on a grand show for everyone in the carnival.
Yep. That was
great. Lion not understanding what fun is my personal favorite gag.
What is fun? I do not understand.
What is the fun?
What is the fun?
I am here to have the fun.
I'm here
Apparently, I have a day off.
My boss told me I is to have the fun. Is this the fun? I absolutely love Lion. He is one of my favorites, and he will be appearing on a new merch line that will be coming at the end of this month. Yes, that's right, everybody. We have a brand new merch line coming at the end of this month. Not only will we be dropping a custom set of dice from D4 all the way to D20, we will be also releasing a custom dice tray, a custom grinder for smokers, a custom weed smoking tray, a custom ashtray, and a custom set of shirts, hoodies, and hats. So stay excited for this at the end of this month, beginning of next month, as we have a huge merch line coming out, and it's going to be awesome. With that, King, thank you so much for introducing yourself, telling us a little bit about your experience as being the DM, and all of that. So from here, we have our 2 newest people I don't really know too much about, and I'm I saved you guys for last because I was trying to really figure out what the fuck I should ask you, because I'm over here on my goddamn interviewer vibe, like, and I have fucking no clue what the fuck to ask you guys. But Hibiki, Dragon, let's start with you, buddy. Let's start with your D&D experience. How long have you been playing this game?
I've been playing for maybe 1.5 to 2 years.
Okay.
Started in 2023, maybe like around summer. So I've done a few campaigns, 5, I think, if I'm not mistaken already.
Very good, very good. Of those campaigns you've really gotten to delve into, and some of them you might not really got to do too many sessions into, while more you got to do more into. What's one that really stuck with you? What was kind of the theming of the campaign, and what was the character you played?
Well, the theme of the campaign was pretty much infiltrating a rogue nation.
Okay.
And I remember playing as a rogue. I love playing as rogues because the unpredictability of like half their class just suits me perfectly. Like, oh, chance, everything. So I love playing that. But even while I played that, I remember like specifically that I was surprisingly super good in combat. Like I don't get hit. I played the role super well. But outside of combat was a different story. Like 95% of the checks or saving throws, I failed, like completely. So I expect to do that same thing here. Have some very unpredictable rolls, like, oh, how did you fail this? Like you have like a 95% chance of passing it, you still fail it. So I'm ready for all of those.
Awesome. If you enjoy the choice-based aspect too, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but I know you are planning on Gunslinger there is a subclass for the gunslinger called Gambler Gunslinger, in which
Yeah, I seen it.
you get to take some chances to fool me as the DM, telling me that you are initiating your ability and then telling me either the true amount of damage you rolled or the fake damage. And if I guess wrong, you get to do more damage, but if I guess right, you do half damage, which is rather interesting. I saw that release, which funnily enough, if you do end up taking that subclass, there's another person on my Sunday campaign who will also be playing that subclass. Not to dissuade you or anything. I don't care if we have multiple people on the channel playing the same subclass. It's just rather interesting in my opinion that both players are really thinking of doing this.
Yeah, it adds a little bit of like trickery to it, which is why I play Rogue as well. So deception and all that. So me being able to lie to my DM and like get away with it, oh, I'm so ready for that.
Oh yeah. Do keep in mind though, it is a specific action that you have to tell me when you're using, because I was a little bit worried about that if it was something that was constantly just passive and you could all the time lie about your damage, because I will forget about that within 2 turns and you will
That'd be crazy.
forever be able to just lie on the damage you're doing, and I would never know. But it's a good thing that you have to tell me I'm activating this ability, and then I get to decide if you're lying or telling the truth. Because otherwise, motherfucker, free damage all you want, huh?
100%.
So with that being the concept of the character and deciding to do something like this, let's talk a little bit about Hibiki. What was kind of your inspiration for making this character? You know, I saw some really good backstory, plot points, and everything for when we were creating it, which we'll get into at the end of the session, of course. What was your inspiration for this person?
So I usually play as some sort of hero or anti-hero. So I want to switch it up and just play an Avenger type of character. So that was my whole inspiration to it. So I want it to be that my character has a set goal in mind, so I can really roleplay that, and it'll be so easier. I add more to the story, more to like other people's lore, hopefully. So it'll just be a good on overall mix like of great like interactions between other characters. So that's what I thought of the character.
Of course. That's great. No, I absolutely love the passion you gave me with your character and everything. It was wonderful. So I'm very excited to see what this character has in store for everybody. And with that, we've gotten to talk to you for a good little bit. Thank you so much, Hibiki, Dragon. And I'm very excited to have you coming out on the channel all the time. With that, we've got our last person to have a little bit of a meet and greet with. So Leafeon, please. So
Hello.
Leafeon, my good buddy, and I will, if you don't mind me stating about your age, because I would like to be honest.
Yeah, no, you're good, you're good.
As of current, Leafeon is 17, but as of the very first session, you will be 18, correct? Or is it the day after the very first session you turn 18?
I believe
It's like the day after or something.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a few days after session 1, I believe.
So if anyone does notice that Leafeon does, maybe seem a little younger than the rest of the group, he is not too much younger. And as I said, by the time the actual meat of the campaign takes place, he will be 18. So all of the adult themes and topics will be completely fine to be discussed and handled in front of him. I will be treating a little bit session 1 as a little bit of a more baby session. I will be going easy on everything just for, legal reasons. And of course, I live in the state of Florida, which is very strict. Any form of minor being introduced to any kind of adult concepts can very much get people in trouble, which I don't disagree against in any way. It's just a little bit of annoying when a 17-year-old who's about to turn 18 still classifies as that and gets in trouble and everything. So yeah, just wanted to
gray areas.
Yeah, of course. So just wanted to discuss that and get that right out of the way. So Leafeon, please tell me a little bit about your experience with D&D. How long have you been playing this game?
So I've actually been doing D&D for a good few years now. I started freshman year of high school and I just graduated, so about 4 years.
Ooh, 4 years of D&D. You might just be the person with the most experience here other than King. I believe King is the only person who topples you in experience, even you having more experience than me, the DM myself. I only have 2.5 years of experience here with this wonderful game we call D&D. So that's I'm glad to have a veteran here on the staff to help with, rules and all that yada yada whenever I need to ask someone who might know a little bit more than I do. Of course, we also have the wonderful Google to handle that for us too. So never feel
I
pressured.
am a veteran by no means. Yeah, most of my campaigns have been homebrew and everything. So you could probably ask me like what a certain spell does, and I'll be confused because I've never heard it before.
Nah, that's completely fine. Homebrew is wonderful. My channel's no stranger to homebrew, as this campaign itself will also have quite a lot of homebrew elements to it. Seeing as that's what I do for all my stuff, like my Saturday session. While it still follows the title Dragon of Icespire Peak, we have a unofficial title for it within the sessions, which is Dragon of Corruption Spire Peak. We just simply keep it as Icespire for the tie into the actual campaign itself for YouTube titles and such. Helps to increase clicks and everything. So, Leafeon, tell me about a character who you really enjoyed playing in one of your homebrew campaigns. Or maybe what was the inspiration for that character and some memorable moments you got to have with them. And we'll see you in just a minute, Sage. Leaving us. Okay, continue, Leafeon.
So, this is a campaign that is currently going on, but at the moment is on a hiatus.
Okay.
It is a character named Ren.
Ooh.
His inspiration wasn't really there. I kind of just created him out of a whim as like, look at this funny swordsman. And I think the reason why I like him so much is because he doesn't take anything seriously. Like there was this one moment where we were fighting a god, and I decided that instead of using my greatsword as a sword, to use it as a baseball bat. And I clocked him
Ooh.
upside the head with a frying pan.
Yep, turn it sideways and hit him with the side.
Mhm.
Hell yeah.
Just a straight right to the skull.
Bang! Insert metal pipe sound effect here.
Yep.
Awesome.
But I think like goofy experiences are like really entertaining with D&D. Obviously serious ones can also be like really fun and impactful too.
Oh, yes.
I like experimenting with things, like thinking outside the box with the character. Like rule of fun is definitely like one of the main things that I encourage whenever I DM.
Awesome. And you'll definitely get to have a lot of that here, as King will know, and you will all come to find out. The only time I expect absolute silence from players is when I say everything falls quiet. That is a narrative moment where I begin to do my DM thing, and I begin to, set the scene, maybe do a bit of a monologue. However, if you do not hear me say everything falls silent and I start giving a monologue, more people should do this. Shoot the bastard in his fucking face while he's talking. Surprise round attack while he's still speaking. I didn't say everything falls quiet. Jump his ass. Fucking jump his ass.
I haven't had the opportunity.
Oh, you gotta
Trust me,
say.
I'm waiting on it. I'm chomping at the bit like a feral lamb.
So yes,
All you gotta say, I am a ranger.
Yeah,
I'm going
Him
to
in the
JFK then.
nuts.
Yeah, so you'll get plenty of opportunities for fun chaos and stuff like that. But of course, like I said, when I do that, everything falls silent. That's my cue for everyone else to also fall silent. Which, I tend to, there's a good 2 or 3 times a session that happens because narration and everything is fun, especially for all the viewers at home who are watching. But that will not be a constant, of course. Most things, while someone's talking, you can interject and say something. If you see, obviously, multiple people are talking and it's in the middle of a roleplay moment and you want to start getting involved in it, shoot me a DM. I'll check the DM, and then when they get to a point where they kind of like fall silent for a minute, I will interject and be like, and then your character walks up and begins to speak. And then that will be your cue for your character to begin getting involved in the roleplay as well.
All right.
Awesome. With that, let's now get on to a little bit more of a Q&A, a quick fire, with like I'd say no more than 10 seconds for each of you to really think about your answer. Because I wanted us to get like your base thoughts, just like what you say right away. And this is going to be like personal preferences and things, so don't feel like you're going to have to do math or anything. I'm going to ask you questions like, what's your favorite band? And you don't have to give me your true favorite band, just someone you're really liking at the moment, just to know more about you for all the people at home. Starting with you, Xenia. So Xenia, I'm going to ask you 5 questions. You ready?
Okay.
All right, Xenia, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue? What's your favorite movie?
Saw 3.
Saw 3? Whoa! What a choice! Okay, continuing. What's your favorite song currently?
Favorite song currently? I just listen to whatever, but to be honest, I've been really listening to Avenged Sevenfold, A Little Piece of Heaven.
Ooh, Avenged Sevenfold. Classic. Okay. That's 3. 2 more. Favorite food? What you like munching
Just
on?
snacks.
Snacks in general?
Just snacks.
Chips and stuff?
Anything snacks, like chocolate, sweets, whatever I can snack on.
And
Like, honestly.
last one. What's your favorite pop? Because you're across the pond, so you say things weird.
Does Monster count?
Monster's a pop. Yeah, Monsters. It's an energy drink, but it's carbonated. It's just up there with sodas anyway.
Just anything energy drink, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like,
you buckle so easy under pressure, and I love it. I'm gonna torture your ass as a DM.
my brain is like, ah!
Oh yeah, I do this on purpose to really put people on the spot so you can see, because I'm not like Alpha. You're gonna be put on the spot, and I will count down with my fingers before something happens. So be ready to think on those feet, because I'm a big fan of improv. Whose Line Is It Anyways? And all of those shows really were my formative brain shows growing up. So that's like where a lot of my personality comes from, and why I'm so quick on my feet with responses and jokes and bullshit. So awesome, Xenia, thank you so much. Good to learn a little bit about you. And from there, we got Sage. You ready for your rapid fire?
Sure. I am horrible when I'm put under pressure.
Hey, perfect. We'll get to see what we should expect from the future. Your character, locked in place, ready to make a decision, fucking scared as shit. So Sage, I'm gonna ask some of the same questions. I might switch them up a little bit, but I'm definitely gonna ask them in different orders because I could not fucking remember what I just asked those questions in order. So starting off, what's your favorite food, Sage?
Favorite food?
Yeah, could be snack, something like Xenia said. It doesn't have to be a meal.
I'd probably say like steak or sushi.
Ooh, steak protein. Love that. Love me some protein as well. Awesome. What's your favorite soda? Because you're normal like me and everyone else here.
My favorite soda is Dr. Pepper.
Ooh, Dr. Pepper. An interesting choice. That's last time I heard someone's favorite soda was Dr. Pepper was when I was watching South Park. And there's a family on South Park. They're agnostic, and the reason they love Dr. Pepper is because what kind of soda is it? Is it cola? Is it a root beer? No one knows. It's
no one knows.
So it's a perfect soda for an agnostic family. Because is there a God? Is there not? Who knows? So yeah, I love that. I love that. Some Dr. Pepper. All right, from there, what's your favorite, band or song that you're vibing with currently?
Oh shit. Actually, there's a band that I've been listening to currently called New Medicine.
New Medicine.
And I forgot the name of the song. I want to say it was like A Boy Like Me. But I don't remember.
A New Medicine, though. Okay, rather interesting. Band I have not heard of, but I definitely will have to check out when I got some time. As I'm a fellow musicphile like you are, so I'm sure we'll both end up liking, because we from what I've seen, we've got some similar tastes.
Yeah,
all
they're
right.
pretty good. I recommend them.
So from there, what's your favorite color?
Purple.
Purple? Ooh, hey. Purple's my second favorite color, right behind yellow, as it was my mom's favorite color. So that's really fun, too. And then lastly, let's see. What's your favorite book, Sage, if you're at all of a reader?
I have over, I think, 150 books.
Woo, so you're definitely a reader.
I don't know which one is my favorite. I have multiple different series. I have manga.
What's a series you really like?
Like one that you would reread happily, just as a comfort book.
Oh, happily as a comfort book. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder.
The title as a comfort book is so left field, so I love that. I love that.
It's a trilogy, and I haven't read the second and third yet, but the first one was so fucking good. They made a Netflix series on it, which it wasn't completely accurate in my opinion, but the book was amazing. I love the book, at least the first one.
Damn. I'll have to check the Netflix series out, because the last time I watched a book-based Netflix series, there's this Netflix series called, it's everything is not okay, and it's about this girl at the very end of it. She
Yeah.
realizes she has the ability to blow people's heads up. I don't fucking remember. It's been so long since I watched it, but that was I read the book series, or my friend read the book series and told me to check it out, and I was like, "Is there a show for it?" So I watched that instead. So
Yes.
awesome. That's awesome. Great to get a little bit more about you and to put you on pressure and see how you react. So you did pretty good. You didn't stall up too bad there. So I'm sure you'll do fine in role play. From there, we'll go ahead and get to Dragon, and we'll go ahead and continue going down the list as I see everyone here. So Dragon, you ready, buddy?
I'm ready.
Awesome. All right, starting off, Dragon. What is your favorite soda?
Sprite.
Sprite. Okay, there we go. We got a good answer there. That's fucking. I love me some crisp ass Sprite. The question is, where from?
Oh, okay. So I hate this, but the Sprite from McDonald's hits.
That's correct. That's your answer. That's the one. There you go. That's the correct answer. Everybody else, he has the correct answer. That's the one. Sprite from McDonald's. That shit is crispy. That shit is spicy. That shit is perfect. That it's different. I completely
Angelic.
Without ice, though. You gotta have it without ice.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't use ice. What the fuck?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
for
who
sure.
wants to water down their soda?
Fuck
Exactly.
Fuck no.
You telling me you don't finish it before the ice melts?
No.
Hell no.
I've had this
I'm a
can
gamer.
for this same can I've had open for the past like 6 hours.
See,
Girl,
The-
same. I do that.
Slow drinker.
the fun
It's like here.
The fun thing about the McDonald's in my area is they still supersize, which means I can go get an extra large drink. It's this big. It's
Oh
this,
my God.
it's this big. It's this big. I can get a supersized burger, supersized fries. I can get supersized everything at my McDonald's, which is fucking so awesome because they don't listen to policy. They're fucking dope. I love them so much.
I'm
Awesome.
pulling up to your McDonald's. I need that supersized. great.
It's so good, bro. Awesome, Hibiki. Great response. So from there, moving on to food. What's your favorite food, Hibiki?
I like eating anything with pasta or
Ooh.
mozzarella sticks in general.
Mozzarella sticks and pasta. A good Italian fan. Nice Italian appreciator. Gotta love that. Also, there's a good bit of Creole dishes as well that have some good pasta. I love me some good Cajun Creole. So awesome.
Yeah,
Love
same.
that too. Awesome. From there, let's what's your favorite TV series currently, Hibiki?
Oh, favorite TV series? I don't know if this counts. It was on Netflix, but Alice in Borderlands was super good.
Ah, yes, I'll count that for sure. No, that's definitely a good one. That's appreciated to hear. I've not too many people I know have currently watched that, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, I finished it.
Awesome. All right, from there, let's do what is your favorite movie? While we're on the talk of TVs, what's your favorite movie?
A favorite movie is an older one, Hacksaw Ridge.
Hacksaw
super good.
Ridge. And I thought Saw 3 was a crazy call. Wow, Hacksaw Ridge. That's man, it's been a minute since I fucking thought about that movie. Shit. You're over here making me think about The Hills Have Eyes or like goddamn
Oh yeah, I watched
When
that.
horror movies were
Yeah,
good.
that movie.
yeah, fucking
That's when they were good.
my favorite is definitely Wrong Turn. The Wrong Turn franchise. I fucking love the Wrong Turn
Ooh.
franchise.
They
That
are
shit
good.
is that shit is fire.
Mhm.
And a lot of people don't like the prequel, but I really like the ice setting with the snow and everything. Something about winter really creeps me out. It just the
Yeah,
snow
yeah.
falling. It's perfect. Awesome. I think that was 4, so we'll do one more. What's your favorite artist or band? Song. What are you really vibing with right now?
The one I vibe with the most currently is Metallica.
Metallica. Okay. Fuck yeah. All right.
Yeah, I listen to like the Unforgiven. I like all
Ooh,
three
okay.
of them.
Okay. All right. Very, very interesting choices. Very wide range of different opinions and preferences from all of you wonderful people. So thank you so much, Dragon. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and get to King. King, you ready, buddy?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, let's do this. King, what is your favorite soda?
Dr. Pepper.
Another Dr. Pepper fan. Okay.
Ew.
2 Dr. Pepper fans. Didn't think we would get 2 Dr. Pepper fans back to. Wow, that's crazy. Okay. From there, we got. Let's see. What is your favorite sport, King? If you like sports at all, even esports.
Don't particularly like sports. If I had to choose, I would choose soccer or football, as they call it.
Soccer. Okay.
Listen.
Okay. Got a Messi fan in the building, or we got a Ronaldo fan?
No, I don't know anything about it. I don't particularly watch sports at all, but yes, soccer
Okay.
would be my favorite.
All right. From there, let's see. What's your favorite video game, King?
Favorite video game. See, you're trying to trip me up, but it's BG3.
Baldur's Gate 3. Okay. Haven't got to play it myself yet. Sadly, it's too expensive for me to afford. But I really want to. I want to record it and play it for the channel one day. Hopefully, one day.
Poor baby.
I know. Yep. I'm broke as fuck. From there, we got. Let's see. That's 3 questions, so 2 more. King, what's your favorite color, buddy?
Not applicable, but if I had to pick one, it would be green.
Green. Okay. All right. We got a fan of green in the building. All right. And let's see. Last one. Let's see here. What's your favorite book series, King? Book series or book?
Favorite book.
Either way.
Ooh. Favorite book series would probably have to be the Mech. THEMEQ.
Ooh. Okay. I've never heard about that one. What's that about?
It's about an immortal 12-year-old that doesn't know he's immortal until he turns 12. And it turns out they can only break their immortality by watching an eclipse with their literal soulmates. And they have to pass on as a duo so they can age as adults.
Okay. Rather interesting. That's fun. I like that. I might have to check that out. Okay. And I think last one. Let's do... Actually, no, I think that's 5, wasn't it? That was 5. All right.
If it was, it was.
If it was, it was. Wait, everyone knows.
You're not catching me stuttering.
Everyone knows the wonderful King. You're a mainstay on our channel, so yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, King. As always, it's great to have you here. And last but certainly not least, we got Leafeon. Leafeon, you ready, buddy?
Of course.
Okay, Leafeon. I'm throwing it off the wagon right off the bat. Your first question, what's your favorite West Coast rapper? I'm kidding, not serious. That's not your first question. Your first question is, let's see here. What's your favorite pantheon? What's your favorite religious pantheon from D&D? Or from, outside of D&D too. Could be Roman, Norse, real life, whatever.
So, honestly, a little bit about me. I enjoy, just researching most religious factors anyways. Most of my time I spend just looking at interesting stuff about New and Old Testaments of the Bible, looking at the Quran, translations and that kind of stuff. And so honestly, I think it would be hard to choose, but I think for D&D specifically, I'd have to go with the Greek pantheon. I think it's the most interesting to set in a D&D world. The higher ups of it kind of match with the weird magic within D&D. So seeing Zeus interact with magical creatures, it's just something that I find fascinating.
Awesome. Love that. From there, let's what's your favorite soda?
Favorite soda? I'm not much of a soda drinker, but I'm a Texas person, so Dr. Pepper.
Favorite
Absolutely.
Dr. Pepper again. Goddamn, 3 Dr. Peppers? Are we fucking serious? This is a plague.
It's a Texas thing. It's a Texas thing.
The Texas thing, I see. Okay.
We love our Dr. Pepper.
Feels like a plague thing. Son of a bitch.
It's just a culture thing.
It's a culture.
It's a culture thing. You're not cultured if you don't love Dr. Pepper.
Exactly.
I don't know.
I'm not cultured
Me
because I can't stand
I
it.
can't stand it.
Mod loves it. I buy him bottles of it, but I used to drink a lot in my teens, like cherry Coke and Dr. Pepper mixed with stuff. So every time I taste this stuff, it tastes alcoholic to me now. I can't fucking stand it.
I've never been a big fan of Dr. Pepper. If I've got the option of root beer, I'm gonna go for root beer. If I've got the option of Coke, I'm gonna go for Coke.
Yeah, even anything in the family of Coke, Dr. Pepper, Coke, Pepsi, anything in that kind of region, I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Really
If
don't
it's
like
not
it.
Dr. Pepper, I think my favorite one is Canada Dry. I'm not a big soda person.
Canada Dry is pretty fire. Actually, shit, I got that literally right over.
I love ginger ale.
I've got a whole 2 liter of ginger ale that I've been sipping on. So
I was about to say
that shit.
Whenever I was in middle school, I used to drink a 2 liter every week.
That shit's really good for your sinuses and really good for your vitamin C and
Absolutely,
shit.
yeah.
So that's why I drink a lot of that shit because it's really good. Awesome. All right, from there, let's see. What's your favorite? Who's your favorite actor? Leafeon. What's a
Ooh.
who you
Honestly, I'd probably say Yuri Lowenthal. He's in like everything
Okay.
that I enjoy. Like he plays Sasuke, he plays Ben Tennyson. Like
Mhm.
I
Yep.
just think he's a really interesting actor.
Yeah,
But
very.
if we're not going like voice actor, probably RDJ. I think he's like seems really chill.
Robert Downey Jr. is a great,
Mhm.
absolute choice. Love both the voice actor and the regular actor. Awesome. All right, let's see. What else? What's next? What's your favorite anime?
Ooh, favorite anime? Darling in the Franxx.
Never heard of that one. What's that one about?
Neither have I.
It's good. It's
If
good.
you
It's
do you
so
know of
good.
Zero Two?
What was that?
02, the girl with the pink hair and like the demon ears.
That's related to Rim.
You know, like that.
No,
you know,
and
like that
no, it's-
dancing emoji where it's like the girl with the red horns and she's like going back and forth.
I think
That's
so.
her.
Okay, I think so.
Yeah,
Everybody knows that. If you do not know that, I'm going to kill you. Hang on, I need
What's
to find
the
this.
What's the character's name again?
I'll find this.
It is 02. That is her name.
Zero.
But Darling in the Franxx is about like mechs and like these children basically fighting a war and like trying to get out of it. It's really
Look in
interesting.
VC
I'm
chat.
not doing it justice at all.
Okay, look in VC chat.
But like
Oh,
perfect
okay.
anime.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
it
yeah.
so much.
I've never. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yep. I've never watched it, but I do know the character. I thought you were talking
Yep.
about.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about ReZero for a second because you said that character's name, and I was thinking of like Rem and Ren or something like that. I forget what their names are.
No.
Awesome. Okay. Fuck. Okay. I do not know that anime, but I do know the character. And let's wrap it off with what's your favorite genre of book?
Ooh. I honestly don't know. I guess whatever you would consider like fiction or like religious fiction.
Religious fiction. Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like mythology and such.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Cultural mythology is a favorite. That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with that, we've got through quite some getting to know of everybody. We have hit the hour-long point, so I think it's time. Is everyone ready for their backstories to be read?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Sure.
As we cut back to the crowd gathered around Mortem, we begin to see certain members of the crowd leave. In fact, most people leave. The town is not full of adventurers, but regular, everyday folk. Red Larch is not a community of heroes, just a community of people. But as the crowd disperses, 6 individuals remain. They look to each other. Seeing each other's faces, looking to Mortem, he smiles as he looks at them, gazing into each of their eyes, starting from the left, going right, as we look at a woman dressed in purple, dark clothes, with golden blonde hair and pointed ears, her eyes glowing with a strange magic, as if a creature swims inside. Zephyr Vestella, the soul split by sea and shadow. Before fate carved her name into the annals of nightmare and myth, she was simply Zephyr, daughter of Astra and Aether Vestella, a laughing child chasing seabirds across sun-bleached decks. Her family, nomadic fishers of the coast, knew little of the power of prophecy. They lived each day by the mercy of the tide and toil, occasionally guiding shipwrecked souls to shore, content beneath the endless sky. Then came the bottle. It pulsed with ancient magic, a smooth vessel cradling something that felt awake even in sleep. Amongst the drifted cargo and gleaming gold, it was this vial that tempted the gods of misfortune. The Vestellas saw only salvation, retirement, rest, a future for their daughter. But the sea never forgets its depths. The cult of the crushing wave fell upon them like a typhoon, and at its helm stood Gra Shatterkeel, a wicked sea elf whose trident shimmered with doom. Without hesitation, she condemned the family to death. But mercy came in the unlikeliest form. A hesitant captain named Thorn, who couldn't bring herself to kill a child. And so the miracle happened. In desperation, Zephyr's parents forced open the bottle. A Kiori soul within, an ancient fragment of dream and despair, poured into Zephyr's body. A 1 in a million resonance, a union of spirit and flesh, a Kalish star was born. Thorn understood immediately. She took the child and spared her life, and murdered her parents. Their bodies sank to the deep, their ship swallowed by flame and black water. Zephyr, branded on her hip with the cult's mark, would never know them again. For 11 years, Zephyr lived in the belly of a ship, more shadow than girl. Her days were silence and steel, her nights filled with dream, voices not her own. Her only warmth came in the form of Spade, the man she believed to be her father, soft-spoken, kind, and always veiled in mystery. Her mother, Captain Thorn, ruled with a cold detachment, teaching survival through fear and structure. But that fragile illusion shattered like glass. Shatter Keel returned. One sentence unraveled everything Zephyr believed. Why is she not dead and dumped overboard like I asked you to do 11 years ago? Like her parents. The truth fell like thunder. Her blue-skinned mother was not her blood. Her life had been a lie, her gifts a curse. Her blood screamed as Thorn confessed, not with fear, but with fierce desperation. Zephyr was special, valuable, a weapon worth training. Bergra cared not for love, and her trident struck. Thorn was gone. But Zephyr did not cry. She did not scream. She only listened. Gra whispered promises. Your parents can return. You can be whole. You can belong. And so, hollow and broken, she followed. Upon an island drowned in miasma, they performed a ritual. A sacrifice of blood and crew. At the altar, Zephyr called out. Not to gods, but to a god. To the god of endings. And Vecna answered. The Whispering Lich had never touched a Kalishtar before, so, intrigued, amused, he gifted her a fraction of his power, undying secrets in the spark of undeath. In return, Zephyr's parents also returned, but not as they were, but as a shadow in a rising fortress of obsidian that tore its way from the ground, surrounded by an army of undead. A dark castle with flickering windows. And in one of them, 2 rotting faces, familiar, watching. But as she ran, fading from her mind, like a dream unraveling on wake. 6 more years passed, and Zephyr trained relentlessly, twisting the Lich's magic and awaking innate sorcery woven into her own soul. She was groomed as the heir to a cult. Her body wielding blade and spell, her mind carved by pain and unfulfilled yearning. But love had never lived in Gra's heart. Zephyr saw it, eventually. That she was not her daughter, but a blade being sharpened. So she vanished. During a storm that raged like her soul, she slipped overboard, clinging to driftwood for what felt like eternity. Her body floated downstream to a quiet village, starving, hollow, and dream-racked. Then she heard the call. A town crier, voice hoarse from passion, proclaimed, "Come one, come all, heroes, adventurers, mercenaries! Defy the 4 elemental cults, prevent the summoning of the princes of evil!" And he raised 4 banners. She recognized one of the symbols, the symbol of the crushing wave. Zephyr froze. Her hands trembled. She knew who she had been, but now she had a choice. And so she stepped forward, not as a weapon, not as a pawn, but as something wholly new. If redemption was real, she would chase it. If vengeance burned within her, she would yield it. And if the past returned, she would meet it at the edge of a blade and at the borders of their dreams. As the fiery passion fueling Zephyr's soul ignites, she begins to step forward, approaching the stage. As behind her, a strange tabaxi, small in stature and thin, glowing green eyes, lit like flickering moss flames. We see Imogen as we zoom in and her story begins to tell. Imogen Firelight, Sikon of mischief and ashes. In a moss-veiled glade where the veil between worlds grew thin, a wandering tabaxi merchant by the name of Edgar Poe stumbled unknowingly into the Feywild. Armed with only a trader's charm, a pumpkin he swore could sing, and a few limericks, Edgar bartered and bantered his way through wild courts of capricious Fey. It was during one such ludicrous pitch, selling the world's first smiling pumpkin, which in reality was just a jack-o'-lantern, as a hearth guardian nonetheless, that he charmed a Fey noble, Lady Lucia Firelight, a bright-winged fairy of sun-dappled grace and razor wit. Love bloomed not like thunderclaps, but in laughter and shared cleverness. After a year of navigating the sylvan labyrinth and whispering rivers, Lucia led Edgar to the Fey Crossing home. And when he hesitated at that threshold, she smiled and said, "I'd rather be lost with you in the mortal realm than timeless and alone here." And so together, they left. Later, they would bear a daughter, Imogen Firelight, who was born beneath a crescent moon during the Ember Watch Festival. A half-tabaxi child with tuft ears, luminous emerald eyes, and wings like flickering foxfire. Her early years brimmed with warmth, love, and riddles by candlelight. Her world painted in cinnamon-scented joy and fairy mischief. But at 16, joy fractured. While celebrating her birthday near the wind-stepped cliffs, the family's caravan was waylaid by a Zephyrus procession, the Cult of the Howling Hatred, led by the moon elf zealot Erisai Kalinoth. Enchanted by Lucia's beauty and enraged by her refusal, he gave the order, and Edgar and all the guards were cut down in a flurry of steel and spellfire. Lucia and Imogen, the only survivors, were taken, shackled in silence beneath the cult's thunderous banners. Lucia became a concubine to the cruel elf, and Imogen, however, was handled to the cult's whisper fangs, silent killers tasked with shaping her into a living weapon. For 6 years, she was honed, poison, shadow, and blade, her wings bound and flayed, her name suppressed, and eventually offered to the abyss. During a midnight ritual, she was branded and forced to form a pact with an archdevil. But fate, mischievous as ever, delivered her not to a tyrant, but to Galatia, the devil of spite, mischief, and subversion. Galatia accepted with a laughter and gave no guidance, only gifting a magical rapier and a flickering shield. Led by an unceasing voice in Imogen's mind, whisperings of mockery of cleverness and of veiled defiance. On the eve of her 20th birthday, Imogen enacted her escape, picking locks with bone splinters, charming guards with misremembered lullabies, and planning to flee with her mother. But plans never go. As Lucia entered her mother's chambers, she found her slain, the air thick with glamour and ash. Heart splintered. People hot on her tail, Imogen fled, attempting to flap her wings, but to no avail as they were tattered. She sprinted to the edge of the Windstep Falls. No sword, no spell, no plan. Just pain. And as she looked over her shoulder, watching the crowd chase her, she leapt. Surviving the fall, she washed ashore in the root-cloaked gutters of a nearby mountain village. There, she hid, she healed, and hoarded copper coin like a relic. Another year passed in the shadows, eating from the garbage, fending off thugs with her blade. Her fire dimmed, but never died. And then, a call. Adventurers, join us! Stop the vile cult before they summon the elemental princes! The words struck like thunder. Imogen stepped into the light, rapier glinting. Her past may have been forged in chains, but her future would be carved in vengeance. As she looked to Zephyr and followed in her footsteps, stepping forward, approaching the stage. Behind her standing two fellers, one short in stature, who in an instant begins to walk forward, the one, the only Brood Braun, who will get no introduction or backstory, as this, everybody, is the DM NPC who will be joining the party. You don't get to know shit about him now, you'll have to learn about him from watching the videos. And of course, behind...
Just don't make him level 12!
Fuck no. Yeah, he's the exact same level as the rest of you. And will be staying that way. But behind Brood, as Brood roughly approaches the stage, clamoring, clunk, 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 ha ha ha! I am Brood! As he walks up with passion and oomph in his steps, we see a little feller floating behind him with flapping wings. A small little man of ebony skin. And as we look to him, his wings flapping in the wind, his gem in his forehead glowing with a faint amber glow, we meet Zavala Butterbean Dullahan, the Titan-cursed juggernaut of grief and wrath. In the shimmering heart of the Fey Wild, where moonlight bathes blossom, heavy groves of laughter drifts on the breeze like pollen, Zavala Dullahan was born, wings first, and giggling and gleaming. The only son of Elenai and Jeff Dullahan, humble fairies devoted to the Queen Titania of the Summer Court. Zavala knew only joy. His early days were song and sun-dappled meadow, of dandelion races and of honey-drop feasts. For 150 mortal years, just 15 fairy ones, his life was untouched by sorrow, his spirit a golden thread woven into the wild harmony of the Fae. That all changed the moment the Witchlight Carnival flickered back into existence upon the Sword Coast of the mortal plane. Eager to relive their own childhood marvels, Zavala's parents brought him to see the mortal wonders. But fate would have other plans. Intercepted mid-journey by the cult of the Black Earth, their caravan was shattered by a cruel, stony gaze. Marnlos Ernalia, the Medusa High Priestess, found the very essence of fairies offensive. Too light, too free, too aerial. As an affront to her faith in the rigid might of the deep earth, she ordered the family imprisoned. Elenai, the mother, didn't flee. Instead, she fought. Leaping into action, wings ablaze with the violence she charged. But the gaze of the Medusa was faster, and a single glance turned her to brittle, gleaming stone. And with a smack of her mighty mace, the stone would shatter to dust. His mother's sword falling to the ground and taken, her story snuffed out. Jeff, the father, desperate to protect his son, surrendered. He was dragged away, never to be seen by his son again. The boy was branded and tossed into a mine of living stone and iron breath deep beneath the crust of the world, where his screams joined countless others in the darkness. 10 fairy years, 100 mortal ones dragged by in that cavernous hell. But Zavala refused to break. His body, once delicate and glimmering, had warped under the weight of a pickaxe, the weight of the lashes and the pain. His heart, once radiant, charred to embers. On his 25th birthday, he struck stone and found something else. A geode, glittering strangely in the torchlight. It cracked like an egg, revealing a sliver of obsidian, part of a blade humming with sentient rage. It rose into the air and drove itself into Zavala's forehead. His screams echoed like a god's fury as his bones shattered and reknit, the rage fueling his veins, his wings twisted and blackened. The once 6-inch sprite surged to 10 feet of snarling muscle, wrath, and rage, his veins glowing faintly with otherworldly hatred. The only survivors were his fellow prisoners. Through blood, smoke, and steel, Zavala fought his way to the surface. The final obstacle? The Warden. A brute, bolstered by an enchanted hammer and a belt of giant strength. The duel lasted an hour, maybe more. Neither spoke a word. Neither yielded. But when the Warden fell, Zavala stood over him and roared, every breath a defiance to his life. He took the Warden's gear, barely able to walk from his wounds, and then he ran, staggering, escaping. He collapsed in a forest, half dead and dreamless, until some nearby villagers found him. And for a year, he lived in their quiet service, chopping their lumber, hunting for their food, never smiling, never laughing, only serving. His only comfort, the warm stew of the innkeeper's daughter and the silence of the deep woods. But then, the stage, the voice, the call to arms. Heroes, warriors, the cult of chaos rises again. We ride at dawn against the followers of earth, flame, sea, and sky. The flame in Zavala's heart, long buried beneath ash, blazed anew. His fists clenched. His father's face last seen behind cold iron bars, flickered in memory. Zavala Dullahan rose, no longer the child of flowers and festivals, not the beast of the mines, but something else entirely new. Adopting the pseudonym Butterbean, and hearing the curse in his skull whisper, the ground trembles when he rages, and he marches now, not for peace, not even for justice, but for vengeance. As Zavala, disturbed by Brood walking underneath him abruptly, flies forward, following the dwarf towards the stage. As we move on from there, we see the next character, dressed in cloak with horns, as we slowly zoom in on the young man to learn more about him. Hibiki Adora, son of Gunpowder and Echo. In the shadowed cradled heights of a forgotten mountain range, there was once a village too remote for maps and too simple for politics. It was there, beneath an ever-stormy sky, that Sora Adora, a dragonborn healer, lived in quiet obscurity until death rode in on wings of wind. A night of blood followed. The cult of elemental air, led by the silver-tongued and merciless Erisai Kalanoth, swept through the village with whispering blades and cyclonic fury. All the men slaughtered, the women taken, the children indoctrinated. But Sora was chosen for something darker than servitude. Erisai sought a vessel, a child infused not only with air's grace, but with the venom of hell itself. And through ancient ritual and unholy design, a gate was opened. The archdevil Baazabul, the Lord of Lies, emerged from the void. Not with fire and brimstone, but with a smile that cracked the sky. He needed no convincing. And thus was born Hibiki. He came into the world marked, literally, with the sigil of the cult seared into the back of his small hand, glowing like moonlight on still water. Training began before he could even speak. Scimitar forms etched into his muscle memory like mantras. His playmates were fellow vessels, many of whom he was forced to kill. But everything changed the day his sister was born. 6 winters after his birth, Erisai forced Sora once more into conception, this time with himself. The child, Rumi Kalanoth, was radiant, bright-eyed, and lithe, born under a rare celestial convergence, yet the labor was fatal. And with her final breath, Sora whispered to her son through blood and sorrow, "Protect her." And from that day, Hibiki's torment became purpose. 16 years passed. The boy grew into a silent hurricane, an echo knight, capable of manifesting mirror cells that struck like ghosts. Beneath discipline's yoke, his mind drifted, curious about far-off things, especially the artifice of firearms. He had heard whispers among wandering arms dealers, but forbidden knowledge always tasted sweet. Then came betrayal. On Rumi's 16th birthday, word reached Hibiki. His sister would be sold, married off to another cult's leader as a symbol of alliance. Rage unlike anything he had ever known burst through his chest, and that night, under the cloud-choked stars, he made his move. He stole from the cult's inner sanctum, a crystal scimitar humming with ancestral energy and a magical breastplate said to shift like the wind around the body. Together, they ran. Their escape led them into forgotten tunnels deep beneath the mountain. But freedom enacts a price, and a cave-in. Rocks fell like judgment. His sister, Rumi, was crushed. He clawed her free, but she faded fast. And as he sat there sobbing, screaming, praying, something or someone answered. As her final breath slipped away, he felt warmth wash over him, almost like his mother's presence, impossibly gentle. And then, It's okay, brother. Big brother, I'm still here. The voice came from the sword. Her soul now slept or stirred within the crystal blade. Whether gift or punishment, it didn't matter. Hibiki buried her in a glade where silver leaves fell like prayers, and then alone and hollow, he walked. Days later, he stumbled into a forest-bound village, weary and silent. There, on a creaking wooden stage, a herald cried out, "Heroes needed to fight the Cult of Ruin!" The words echoed to Hibiki's bones like a summons written in fate. And he stepped forward, not as a vessel, not as a weapon, but as a brother, and perhaps one day, a redeemer. As he steels his resolve, approaching the stage, ready to accept a new chapter of life. And last, but certainly not least, we have Oros. A young boy, which, to everyone else's appearance, cannot see his ears or his tail. It is hidden via his lineage. As his orange flickering eyes, fueled with flame, begin to tell a tale. The story of the ash-born flame, Oros. Oros was born beneath flickering torchlight, his cries drowned by the chant of the cult of eternal flame. His mother, Akane, a once proud kitsune from a peaceful mountain village, had been lured into bondage by honey-eyed lies and broken promises. Her kin had been told they were being conscripted, men to wage war on corruption, but instead, the men were butchered in sacrificial prize. Akane and the other women taken to the cult's inner sanctum, no longer a daughter of her village, but a concubine cloaked in a false destiny. Among the cult's leaders was Vanafir, a tiefling cloaked in infernal grace and serpent-tongued persuasion. He selected Akane for a false prophecy, claiming their union would birth the cult's salvation. He gifted her a necklace, a heavy obsidian pendant streaked with crimson stars cradled in silver. 4 crimson stars. Unknown to her, the silver band holding the necklace carried an ancient necromantic curse, forged by Vecna himself. And the gem was no mere stone, but a petrified abyssal dragon egg, brimming with latent power. When Akane became pregnant, she clung to hope, believing her child might inherit freedom. But days before her labor, a careless whisper from a ranking cultist revealed the truth. Her son was never meant to be a ruler. He was meant to be the final sacrifice, a living vessel to summon the elemental prince of fire. And that night, under the cover of smoke and prayer, Akane fled. Days later, the cult found her near a stream, alone, her newborn son presumed to have perished in the wilderness. But the child lived. Akane, with trembling hands and love that defied the flames, had crafted a crude raft and sent her baby downriver. Wrapped in cloth, clutching the cursed necklace, the current carried him far into the lonely highlands, where an old man, a mountain hermit known only as Grandpa Gohan, found the boy wailing among the reeds. Gohan was no stranger to hardship, a war veteran, a marksman, and a spiritual recluse. He took the boy in without question. He raised him not as an orphan, but as something more, something sacred. But he never gave the boy a name. He only ever called him Kid. And the kid never asked for more. Years passed, and Oros learned to hunt like Shadow and speak with silence. He was taught to veil his kitsune lineage, and when the days were calm and cold, he read the stories in Gohan's meager library. Among them, one book rose above the rest, the Song of Eros. Tales of a god of archery whose arrows never missed and whose heart guided the just. In the warmth of that book, the nameless boy found identity. And he took the name Oros, swearing his soul to Eros, vowing to live as his champion. But curiosity is a fire no forest can contain. And at 10 winters old, Oros defied his grandfather's rules and ventured to the nearby village, chasing a dream he'd found between pages. A tattoo, a symbol of faith, burned into skin. He found a shop. He paid the price. And as he removed his shirt to receive the mark, the orcish tattoo saw something else. A brand seared into his back. The unmistakable insignia of the Cult of the Eternal Flame. And everything unraveled. With a howl of rage, the tattooist declared him demon spawn, and the streets erupted with torches and blades as the villagers chased the child back into the woods. Oros fled, his heart cracking with every step. He accidentally led the crowd to his home, his haven, and Gohan, ever calm, ever loving, packed his belongings, gifting him an enchanted scale mail vest and a longbow crowned with a dragon's head. "Go," he said softly, "and return tomorrow for breakfast. I will deal with them." But Oros never got that breakfast. And at dawn, smoke stained the sky. The forest stank of death. And where once stood a hut, only embers remained. And in the mud, head severed, laid his grandfather. Grief shattered him. His screams tore through the realms, and the obsidian gem at his neck erupted. The 4 red stars blinking with unnatural light as it shattered. The silver band unraveling like woven bone. And from the ashes, and from his grandfather's body, a spirit arose, forming with the gem, creating a skeletal serpent dragging. Its ribs laced with magic, its eyes glowing with tender, ancient fire. The newborn Lich Drake coiled around Oros and held him through the tears, and he named him after his grandfather, giving him the name Gosha. From then on, he wandered across valleys, through battlefields, and badlands, never staying in one place for too long. He became a ghost with a dragon's shadow and a god's name on his lips. At 16, his path twisted once again. In a new village, he heard the voice of an announcer calling for brave souls to battle the vile cult demons, to stop the summoning of Chaos Incarnate, the elemental princes. Those words set his blood alight. For the first time, Oros didn't run. He stayed. Because the time had come to chase the truth. Not to run through it. Not to run from it. And as Oros steels his determination, he would begin to approach the stage, following the rest of the people. And as they would approach, the man would look to them and say, "Well, it's about time we get started." And with that, we will reach the end of today's Session 0. All of you beautiful people at home, I hope you've enjoyed today's session, and I hope you've enjoyed getting to know all of our wonderful cast of players and characters. Starting with Xenia, please, give me your opinions of what today was. Did you enjoy the Session 0? Did you enjoy the narration and everything? You're muted, but
all I
there
can,
we go.
yeah, I realize. All I can say is this is the most Session 0 that I've like of a session 0 I've ever had, because I know what a session 0 generally entails.
Yes.
And most campaigns generally will just like give a little bit and just jump right into the story. But this kind of how you've set it up in not only us like getting to know each other as like players, but also then going into the characters and who they are, it was just very engaging. And I found, like, as a person with ADHD, I found I wasn't zoning out as much as I have in other campaigns. So it was just really nice to just have that, like, solid session 0 to kind of really learn each other and get an idea of these characters and who, and also a sense of how we're going to be playing our character as well, I feel. Which I absolutely adore. I actually really like how this has been laid out. I'm not gonna lie.
Awesome. So you could say you definitely enjoyed it better than another session 0 we've had together.
There's nothing against I have that. I just think I prefer this format better because I don't know. Alpha's not been my only DM.
Our session 0 was. It was
Wait,
It was more of a session
Wait.
1.
Yeah, we didn't get a session
Yeah.
0, which was so aggravating. I hated that.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to ask, did we even get a session 0?
he
'Cause
called
I
it
was
session-
not there for that.
He called it session 0, but why he called it that is because
Yeah.
we didn't actually start the combat, which that's still not what a session 0 is. Just because there's no combat doesn't mean
Yeah.
it's still not technically session
I've
1.
had session 0s that have gone straight into
Yeah.
combat at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I don't
Um,
get that.
And like that being the introduction of the characters is like joining in a combat together and then deciding to group up kind of thing. So I've had various different types of DMs. I think I've had about 5 different DMs since like I started in August. And so various different styles of session 0s, but I really do like the format of this.
I try to lay it out as professionally and as well for the videos as I can. Obviously, we've got people watching at
Yeah.
home who want to a nice connected series where they also get to know the wonderful players, because at the end of the day, that is really what draws people to these videos, to my channel, is you wonderful cast of players, your personalities, your energy, the way you role play, the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you all carry yourselves. So no, I like to really get to know players as the best I can, to let the viewers get to know the players, and let you guys shine, because at the end of the day, that is what I'm here for. I'm here to allow you all to shine and become heroes, as the adventure entails. So awesome! Thank you so much, Xenia, for your input. We'll be doing pros and cons at the end of these sessions, like we did on our Monday sessions. I do pros and cons for all of my videos. Normally the recording ends and then we do pros and cons, but for this first one, we'll do the pros and cons on the actual recording, and then we'll be ending. So thank you so much, Xenia. And with that, Sage, please take it from here. How'd you enjoy today's session?
I would say I enjoyed it a lot more than a certain other Monday session that we've had for the past couple months. Mainly,
what could that be?
anyways, mainly, just because like I have ADHD, so it's really hard for me to focus, kind of like Xenia. Like sometimes if I'm watching something and I like what I'm listening to and I'm watching, like I can like focus on 2 things and it like heightens my focus. And it's like I take in everything and it's awesome. And then sometimes it's like I completely zone out and block everything out. That was not this. That was you know who. That was that. With this one, I felt like I could kind of like do like, text people and like kind of doom scroll while also still like paying attention. And it was like I was actively listening rather than just like zoning the fuck out and going off Timbuktu. I was like actually listening to the session. And it was really nice because I don't think I've ever had a session where like we've actually introduced ourselves as players. Like it's kind of like, oh, hi, my name is this is my character, let's get into it. And then we get into roleplay and we get into the session. It's not like, let's share a bit about ourselves. Let's get to know each other as friends rather than just characters. Like, I've never had that before in a session, and like it's nice. I like it.
Awesome. Perfect. I'm so glad you enjoyed. I definitely did notice that I saw you were paying attention quite often. I don't get, whenever I see people scrolling through their phones, if it's not them up, yep, you're fucking. You don't have to ever, like you had to do with the previous DM, where you had to turn your camera off because if he saw you on your phone, get off your phone, get off your phone, no, get off your phone, get off your phone. No, I don't give a shit. As long as you're not, and I don't come to you in the middle of combat or roleplay, and I see you on your phone, you're fine. Do what you need to do. Take your own time. Like when I played D&D plenty of times where I've done the same thing. Like someone else is doing their thing. If I'm involved, I'll listen. Otherwise, get to me when it's my turn. Get to me when it's my fucking turn. It's so simple.
I do, yeah.
It's so simple. Get to me when it's my turn to have some fun, baby. It's so easy. So awesome. I'm glad you had fun. I'm glad you enjoyed today's session 0 and got to. It's awesome to get to know you. Same with Xenia and get to know everyone else. So thank you. From there, we've got Dragon. Dragon, what did you think of today's session 0?
I enjoyed it quite a lot, learning about other people's characters, just learning about them in general, actually. And what I took from it was most of us thought of the same thing, like backstories of our character, some type of tragedy, which is kind of funny, but it's so sad to think about it. All of us had to go through some type of trauma with our backstory.
We all have real, and that shows that all of us have that real life trauma too.
Yeah, I was like, it was just fun to see that and like just envision it. And I was paying attention like the entire time. I had to go I'd use the bathroom a few times in between just in case. I want to like, oh, something happened. So I really enjoyed it. All the talking and all the listening. You did a very good narrating too, especially with the stories. So I enjoyed that a lot too.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed the narration, as I will do my best to narrate things very professionally and to make it feel like you're actually getting to listen to a movie narrator or a book narrator do their thing. Of course, this will be the less common of how I do my DM style is narration. Is less key to D&D, I find, as improv is. So like you won't find like monologuing and stuff happens, but like I said before, people are allowed to interject, to interrupt. You know, I'm not here to write a book. I'm not here to flex my creative writing skills and my narrative abilities. Of course, I'm showing them off for the channel to make people enjoy and to show what I have to offer. But at the end of the day, it's just a game. I'm here to fucking make sure you guys have fun and are enjoying your actions and the story itself. So if y'all want to interject, like I said before, I have my thing where when everything falls quiet, and I specifically say that's the only quiet time, everybody, that you'll ever get from me. But yeah, so it's awesome. I'm very excited to see what you have to offer for the character, to get into roleplay, and it's been great getting to know you, Dragon. And as always, as I'll say every single time, it was awesome to have you here, and I'm excited for the future. With that, we go to King. King, buddy, boy, the one, the only man on 4 of my different series on this goddamn channel. What'd you think of today's session 0, buddy boy?
Today's session 0 was great. I thought of an alternative title to 4 Elemental Princes of Chaos. 5 orphans kicked the shit out of the geriatrics responsible. So.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes.
We're fucking real.
Fucking. Actually, the title of this stream is Orphans versus Elemental Evil.
That's literally what it
Please
is.
keep that as the name.
I forgot because we are all everyone in this
Everybody's
group.
orphans.
Everyone's characters are orphans. The only one who's not is King, because your character is a half orphan. It's the only one who's not. Because your dad is still alive. You're the only one.
Technically, I'm a half orphan too.
We don't know that.
Oh yeah.
My adopted dad is still alive.
So a bunch of us are half orphans.
My parents are undead, if that counts.
Please keep that name. The orphans versus the
I know how you
princes.
play your DMPCs. I'm not too worried about you trying to take the spotlight. I know you'll only step in if shit gets tough, and even then you'll probably have to like roll for it or something.
Of course, yep.
So it's not like you'll be like, oh, okay, the party's bloodied. Let me come in and one-shot everything.
Yeah, nope. That'll never happen.
Oh.
Yep, nope, that'll never happen. That's not how I
Yeah.
roll. You know me, baby. My
You
DM,
will, however,
my DM
fireball.
NPC, my DM NPCs oftentimes get killed.
Yes, you will, however, fireball the floor without having a clear line of sight. Damn near
Yeah.
kill it.
Yeah, I like my DM NPCs to be a little reckless because it's fun that way. So yeah, you might every now and then get a "this is the greatest plan" as he fucking kamikazes into the goddamn floor. Oh my
goodness.
god, that
Yeah.
was great.
Good job.
Awesome. Thank you so
Great
much,
job.
King. I'm excited to have you on 4 of my series now. All 4 of my D&D campaigns to have you here. And I'm excited to have you on next Sundays for Session 0. Everyone watching, if you're enjoying this Session 0 and you want to see more from here on the channel, we have 6 different D&D series that have gone up so far. 2 of them have officially ended. 4 of them are still going. And with that, and next Sunday, we will also be starting the Session 0 of The Curse of Strahd. So if you're excited or interested in that, please tune in next Sunday for the Session 0. Oh, God, hiccups. Okay, and with last, and certainly not least, we have Leafeon. Leafeon, how'd you enjoy today's Session 0, buddy?
Honestly, I really enjoyed it. Like Xenia and Sage also said, I don't usually have trouble paying attention or anything, but like I enjoy doing stuff on the side while like listening in, kind of like in a podcast mode. And I really enjoyed listening to everyone's stories. Like I was around during most of the creations, I think, except for King's, and I really enjoyed listening in and hearing it, and like hearing you narrate them all one by one. It was just perfect. I enjoyed it a lot.
Awesome. I hope you enjoy the way the campaign is set up, the hook and everything.
I am.
Perfect. I cannot be happier to hear absolute happiness from everybody, which means we've had a great and successful Session 0. And with that
So
being
far,
the case,
it's been better.
we have officially hit an hour and 15 minutes into Session 0. A little bit short of the 2 hours that we wanted to cap off at. So I think now it's a perfect time to go ahead and wrap up. So, everybody, please say goodbye.
Goodbye, Orphan
Good.
Guild.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And if you want to check
Don't
out
be a bitch.
if you want to check out this series, make sure to tune in every single Monday from 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for 3-hour sessions in a wonderful campaign of players and adventures. With that, I've been
Like
your host.
and subscribe or I'll cry.
So, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all the stuff. Leave a comment down below. And I've been your host, the D&D Orphan, signing off to all of you beautiful adventurers.
I lied, be a
Peace.
bitch.